today's session we look at the place views command in ARUtils. The routine assists you in placing multiple views on multiple sheets by simply selecting those views and then having ARUtils take care of the rest. So let's start the command to bring up the dialog, and you'll see here that we have a number of options. Down here at the bottom we have a number of views. In this case I've applied the detail filter to show just detail views. I can of course right click there, say clear all the filters, and that shows me all of the views which are currently not on a sheet. So I'll go back, pick detail from that list, and I'll now pick all of these views. And before I go through the interface, I'll just quickly run the command once, say place views. Okay, we get a message up saying what's happened, and if I tile those windows, you'll see that we now have two new sheets, one with 3 details on it and another one with that larger stair detail. So the place views command has automatically put those views onto sheets and fitted them in the order that we've actually picked them. It's worth making a quick point at this time to highlight that in order to achieve best placement of views on sheets, title blocks in fact have a number of parameters embedded in them which define the border areas and the clear areas. So if I select this title block and say edit family, you'll see that we actually have a number of parameters that ARUtils uses to clearly define the area that views can be placed. Since title blocks can have the main information blocks at the side or at the bottom or who knows what else, by using these parameters, X border and Y border, X clear and Y clear, we clearly transmit the information about where ARUtils can actually place views. So we're back at square one. We'll go back into place views, and we can actually pick the order that we want views to be placed in. So in this case I'll pick the wall roof connection, typical foundation, then I'll pick my larger main stair detail, followed finally by another one of the smaller details. So if I now click place views, and go window tile, you'll see this time that we've actually created our first view with just 2 details on it, our second view with the stair, and our third one with another detail. So we have a great deal of control about which order items are placed in, and they'll automatically be fitted as best as possible onto sheets. Okay, let's just undo that run again and we'll see what other options we've got. So in our place views command, up in this top area we actually control how things are going to happen. So as far as our sheet names go, we have 2 options. One, we can use the first view name to generate the sheet name. So by using this one, we would more typically have a sheet named by the first view on it. So let's run the command again, hit place views, and if we now go down to our sheets, you can see we've got details typical wall roof connection and details main stair detail. So it's added the first view name to our prefix value. So if we go back into it, you'll see that we had details here and the first view name on the sheet has been added to that to generate the sheet name. If we just wanted to use the first view name, we could set our prefix to nothing, our suffix to nothing, and then we would automatically have sheets just named after that first view. Let's just undo those again. And we'll go into place views, and this time we'll say our prefix is details dash, and we'll say auto increment, and we'll say start at 100. So what's going to happen now is that we'll have sheet names of details dash 100, 101, 102. So we'll just pick those again, place the views, and you'll see now that we have them just named details 100, 101. So you can come up with whatever naming system that you like. Now you may find that that naming and numbering is not to your taste, so you could go in and rename them, renumber them manually, or alternatively you could use the Sheets import export routine, and we'll just say export all of our current sheets, write it out to file, and I'll just edit that file. Okay, and so here are our sheet names. So I'll call this details my 100. So I'm going to just add a .0, and I'll change these to 100.1, 100.2, save that off, close the file, and say import. And you'll see now that we've had those sheets renumbered and renamed. Let's just undo those changes. So, alright, we'll just go to our place views command again. So the other options that we have are to select the title block family to be used, what sort of viewport type we want when placing those views. So all of these are built into your thing, into your project, and you'll also be able to set the spacing. So let's say we'll set it to 6 inches just to be something a bit bigger, and that's 6 inches actually on the sheet. So for those using metric, that's 150 millimeters, which is a fairly extreme spacing. So we'll just go place views, and now because I've used that much larger spacing, each detail has needed to be on its own sheet. So keep in mind 6 inches is the actual plotted units. Now let's just undo that again and go back into our place views command once we've in fact picked a sheet. So let's bring up a sheet. Now if I run the place views command when there's a sheet up, let's just change this back to 1 inch, and we select all of those. If I now go place views, it's going to use the current sheet as a template, and we can actually place those views on this sheet if that's what we want to do, or we can say new sheets. But in both cases, it's going to use this sheet as the basis for placing the views. So we'll say new sheets, and you'll see now it's used a different title block despite what was said in our window, and it will also have placed all of the views onto a single sheet. And if there was information about who had drawn the item, who it was checked by, that will also be copied across. So it really does use that first sheet for generating the new sheets. So I hope that's given you some food for thought. It certainly makes placing all the views on your sheet much easier and spaces them accurately and spaces them across multiple sheets, saving you a great deal of time. Thank you for your interest.